Blue Beast Tales by the Paranoid PI. Is there rot on Mars? The crimson dust of Mars swirled against the biodome's transparent panels, a stark contrast to the vibrant greens within. Dr. Aries Thorne, head botanist of the Greenhorn 6 colony, ran a gloved hand over a wilting tomato plant. The hydroponics bay, once a symbol of the colony's self-sufficiency, was now a scene of creeping decay. A strange blue mold, dubbed ceruleum rot by the panicked colonists, was spreading rapidly. It had started subtly, a faint blue tinge on the roots of the potato crop. Within days, it had exploded, covering entire sections of the hydroponics bay in a velvety, azure fuzz. More troubling than the crop damage were the reports from the colonists. Vivid nightmares, paranoia, and hallucinations of shadowy blue figures lurking at the periphery of their vision were becoming increasingly common. Aries examined a sample of the rot under his microscope. The spores were unlike anything he'd ever seen, pulsating with an almost internal light. He took a tissue sample, noting the strange, crystalline structures within the fungal cells. It wasn't just a fungus, it was something else entirely. The colony's psychologist, Dr. Lena Volkov, reported a sharp increase in anxiety and aggression among the colonists. One colonist, a normally placid engineer named Jian, had barricaded himself in his quarters, claiming he was being watched by blue shadow people. One night, Aries was working late in the lab, trying to isolate the rot's DNA. He felt a chill despite the controlled temperature of the biodome. A faint blue glow emanated from the hydroponics bay. He grabbed a flashlight and ventured into the darkened chamber. The rot had spread further, climbing the walls and even reaching the ceiling. The air was thick with a sweet, cloying scent. As Aries moved deeper into the bay, he saw them, fleeting glimpses of blue, humanoid figures moving among the plants. They were translucent, almost like heat haze, but undeniably there. He felt a wave of dizziness, a strange sense of unreality. He stumbled back to the lab, his heart pounding. He knew the rot was affecting him too. He had to warn the others. But as he reached for the comm unit, he noticed his hand. A faint blue tinge was spreading beneath his fingernails. The next morning, the colony was in chaos. Several colonists were exhibiting signs of advanced infection. Their eyes had taken on a faint blue sheen, and their behavior was erratic and violent. Jian had emerged from his quarters, his eyes completely blue, raving about the blue gardeners who were tending to their new garden. Aries, his own infection progressing rapidly, realized the horrifying truth. The rot wasn't just destroying the crops, it was using the colonists as vectors, transforming them into part of its own spreading network. The hallucinations weren't just side effects. They were glimpses of the rot's consciousness, a nascent intelligence attempting to reshape the Martian ecosystem. He managed to send a distress signal to Earth, a desperate plea for help. But he knew it might be too late. The rot was accelerating its spread, and the colonists were becoming increasingly subservient to its will. The blue figures were no longer shadowy glimpses. They were becoming more solid, more defined, as if the rot was manifesting itself physically through the infected colonists. As the crimson Martian dust swirled outside, a new kind of garden was taking root within the biodome, a garden of blue mold and transformed humans, a testament to the rot's terrifying ambition to terraform Mars in its own image. Aries, his vision blurring with blue, could only whisper a final warning into the comm, his voice barely audible. They are not shadows, they are planting us.
Oh, 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 oh.